Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. It's Friday, and this weekend is our annual solstice celebration. Me and the kids, which means they get a bunch of packages on Sunday morning, and it looks very similar to your Christmas celebration, except that restaurants aren't closed, so we go out to eat. I don't cook. We will probably go out this year. We have a really awesome hibachi place here in town. We'll probably go do that. I'm done shopping. We finished up yesterday, picked up a few last minute things. I have one small gift to make, which is what this pile of wood here is for. And I received my first solstice present today. Technically, that's not true. Em got me a new camera a couple months ago. That was like an early present. But I got an actual present from somebody that I love dearly. And that is my artist friend Beth. She sent me two mouse guard originals that she did, and I think they're absolutely amazing and wonderful. She's just such a wonderful artist, and I have so much of her stuff in my house now. I have two new pieces that I've got to find a place for. I'm going to frame them probably together. I was thinking about making separate frames for these, but I think they would look good since they're kind of like a set in a like a split frame. So I'll end up making a frame for those at some point and find a place to hang them because I absolutely adore them. Other than that, it was I think previous years, I had a much harder time telling people I would like this for Christmas or I would like this for solstice or whatever. And Em and I had a lot of talks about it. We talked about it last year. And this year, I found it a lot easier to just say, go look at my Amazon wish list, right? There's all kinds of stuff on there from $10 items to $1,000 items. Whatever you think is, whatever you want. And I kept adding stuff. There's weird stuff on there, like I need, of all things, I need like 3.5 ounce Jello cups. I don't have any. I use those for epoxy, or I really like to use those when doing oil finishes. Just putting a little bit in there so I can dip a cloth or a sponge in it, Danish oil, that sort of thing. To sandpaper and saw blades and whatever. This thing, I almost bought myself a present. Somebody locally had posted a Jet 14-inch on Craigslist because they were getting a bigger saw, and they were only asking $425 for it. And I looked at it for a couple days. I was like, I'm going to call the guy, and I went back and it was gone. This little guy was free. It was given to me. The lower wheel was cracked. I had to find a replacement on eBay. This replacement doesn't fit it perfectly. The guides are all a bit janky. The whole saw has a bit of flex to it, which means that the guides, if I'm pushing on the blade, they fall off the lower guide, the back stop, and then it goes, So I was cutting a piece of cherry the other day and it smoked on me. I think the blade is done. It's pretty toasted. But I'm not going to ask anybody to get me a bandsaw, for solstice, right, or for Christmas, because that's just ridiculous. But past Chevy did not enjoy receiving gifts. I still don't. I don't enjoy the receiving of the gift, but I enjoy. Okay. I met Em's family for the first time last year. And I met her grandmother years ago. I met her parents before Christmas last year. I got to meet the rest of the family at Christmas. That was the first time I really got to meet them. And they all bought me gifts. And it was really strange because it was like, I'm this, 40-something-year-old man. I have children. I've bought gifts all this time. And I don't really receive gifts. Like, my parents give me some things. My sister might give me something. My niece gives me something. Like, I don't have a list. my ex and I, we didn't exchange gifts because we didn't have money for that. We just bought stuff for the kids. That was more important than giving each other gifts. So I just haven't received gifts forever. But her whole family bought me all kinds of stuff. And most of it was like, little things. Her dad got me this magnetic wristband, which I absolutely love. I've used it so many times now, especially on the basement project and stuff, to hold screws, hold screwdrivers. It'll hold up just about anything I stick to it. I don't know if it'll hold this knife, but no. It'll hold up all kinds of stuff. And I've used it a bunch, just so it was like they didn't really. They spent way more than I would have wanted them to spend, but they bought a bunch of really thoughtful little things, and it was like, seeing them feel good about that felt good. It felt really good for me. So, while the gift itself is kind of, I still feel a little awkward about it. It's nice to let other people have that enjoyment, and we talked about that last year, right? We talked about that a lot because I've never been good at receiving gifts, but I've always been good at giving them. I always enjoy giving. So. My family this weekend, M's family next weekend, and we'll see. I think that it's going to be a good year. For the first time in a very long time, I am not counting pennies to try to figure out how to afford Christmas. I actually had a Christmas savings set aside this year that I built up over the year, and it helped me. I bought everything. Everything's paid for. No credit card floating or anything like that, and that feels really good. So I think it's going to be a good time. And we're doing my parents on Saturday. I'm cooking I make like a gravy and steak in a crock pot. I'm doing that for Saturday night. And then my kids will do, they get the whole day Sunday. And then I'll see my sister, I think, next week. My sister and my niece. And then we'll go spend some time with M's family. But it's going to be good. And it was really nice to see that I got this gift from Beth. She's such a wonderful person. And a really wonderful, delightful artist. So it's a good start. Good start to the weekend. I hope that you have a great weekend. I know that, I don't know. Maybe some of you do practice or celebrate solstice now. Solstice, by the way, technically is not until Tuesday. But whatever. Our celebration is the closest Sunday. So even though maybe you're not celebrating any sort of holiday this weekend, I hope you have a great time, and maybe you get to spend some early time with family and friends, play some games, or spend time in your shop. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends with people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. No, I'll see you on Monday. Why do I say that? Today's word you should know to sound smart is isochronous. Isochronous? Isochronous. It's an adjective meaning occurring consistently at regular intervals. The ticking of a clock is isochronous. Isochronous. It's isochronous. But the arrival of the elevator at different floors is not. Isochronous. Isochronous. Man, I don't know why that would trip me up so much. Isochronous. It's a weird word. I would probably just write regular intervals.